Hey guys, welcome back for another Baker Built Sexy Time tip of the week. This one we're going to be talking about Cuban presses and Cuban rotations. Cuban presses and rotations are fairly similar in that the rotation is basically an element of the Cuban press, but you can do one or the other as the exercise you choose for that point in your workout. These, like any other accessory exercise, can be a warm-up component. They can also be a cool-down component too. So throw them in where you want. If this is something you really struggle with, that sort of range of motion and mobility in your shoulders, you might want to throw it in as a warm-up just to emphasize that a little bit more. If you don't struggle with it too much, but you really just want to make sure you get those in, at the end of the workout is fine too. So the basic component or basic setup for the Cuban press or rotation is right here. I'm going to start with the rotation, that's the most basic, and then we'll talk about the press afterwards. I'm just going to stand with my elbows are at 90 degrees. I'm going to make sure they're flat. My elbows are up level with the shoulders, and my shoulders are not up around my ears. I make sure that I'm pulling down. I feel like I'm engaging my upper back and my lats here. And then from here, the rotation is just up, not past 90 degrees. You don't want to try to overextend here. You just want to bring it up maybe even a little bit in front of 90 degrees, depending on your range of motion and strength. And then back down. It's a slow and controlled motion. You really want to emphasize control here. One, to prevent injury, but two, to challenge the muscles a bit more. We're working on creating control within this single area. And so by doing that, we want to make sure that a nice steady movement, which is going to give us more benefit over the long term, is what we're doing. A fast movement, one, greater risk of injury, but two, you're not going to get the same kind of control you will with slower. So that's all this is. Some people will bring the rotation all the way down here. I judge it on a case-by-case basis. If the person I'm working with just doesn't have that mobility, or if they tend to have a really bad posture where things are already down here, rounded, and then when they get down here, the shoulder's going to tend to want to go forward. I usually will wait until my clients have a much better posture and then take them into that range of motion all the way down. It just allows for less risk of injury, in my opinion, but you can do whatever you want. I always say though, better safe than sorry. This is a movement you can do it unloaded. For those with really poor mobility, unloaded may just be enough just to get those muscles aware of what kind of range of motion you want them to have. You can also start to add some weight. With my clients, I will usually start with something light. These are only 5 pounds. You can even do 2.5s. Just enough to stimulate the muscles to wake up and say, oh, hey, we need to develop some adaptation here and some strength, but not too much that you're going to injure yourself, because these don't get a lot of that kind of work on the whole, on average. So you want to make sure that you address it slowly and easily. That's the rotation. Now the press is basically taking that same movement, but when you get to here, you're going to bring them up, extend the elbows all the way overhead, you're going to bring it back down, and then to here. Unloaded or with weight, you're just going to rotate, press, make sure the abs are on, rib cage is down so you're not overextending through your thoracic spine and your low back, and then you're just working right in there. Over time, you want to build up on the weight, but again, starting gradually and doing probably, sets of 8 to 10. 8 to 10 reps is a really good number with low weight to really build some muscle memory and get the muscles nice and worked. Give that a try, guys, and then let me know how it goes. I'll see you next time.